Hello, everyone. Welcome to the chapter number 13, which is on patient education and emergency preparedness for the anaphylaxis. So, let's get started. So, why are we studying about the patient education and anaphylaxis? Because the patient's education is the foundation of anaphylaxis management. Recognizing the symptoms early and acting quickly can be the difference between a life and death. It's critical that not just the patients but also the caregivers, family members, and school staff knows how to respond in case a person suffers from the anaphylaxis. So, education will boost the confidence, it will reduce the fear, and it would allow those with allergies to live more independently and safely. So, yes, knowing about the anaphylaxis is very important not only for the patient but also for their family members, for the school staff, for everyone surrounding them in order to act fast and save lives. So, epinephrine is the first and the most important treatment method for anaphylaxis. Are we all clear on that? Because that's literally the most important piece of knowledge you would take from all of these slides. You must also know that auto-injectors like EpiPen and IOVQ and others are designed for quick, easy use even by the non-medical individuals as well. So they should be administered at the very first sign of the severe allergic reaction. And people should always carry two doses in case the symptoms return after the first injection of this auto injector or if the medical help is delayed due to some reason. So these devices save lives and there is no substitute for epinephrine. So, this slide is actually why I need everyone to take this course because no matter from which background you are, whether you belong to the healthcare sector or not, you should know how to inject an epinephrine auto injector because that's important to save a lot of emergencies and a lot of lives. So, if you're someone who belongs to a family in which allergic reactions are common, they can convert into anaphylaxis anytime, and you need to be sure that you know how to inject an emergency epinephrine auto injector in order to save the lives of your loved ones, in order to protect your children, in order to protect everyone around you from the development of the anaphylaxis into anaphylactic shock. So, let's walk through how to use an epinephrine auto injector. So, first of all, first step first, remove the safety cap. Then, the second step would be to press the injector firmly against the outer thigh. It could be injected to the left or the right thigh, but you have to press the injector very firmly against the outer thigh, the outer super quadrant of the thigh. Okay, then it can go through the clothing if it's necessary. If you can't remove the clothing in those seconds, depending on the brand, hold there for 3 to 10 seconds. And after the injection, massage the area to help with the absorption of the material into the blood. Immediately call emergency services. Even if the person feels better, they still need the professional care because we have already learned in the previous chapters that there could be a thing which is known as a delayed reaction and which could even be more severe and more rapid and more emergent as compared to the first wave of the reaction. So, yes, you need to call the emergency services immediately and even if the person feels better. So, what you have to inject the epinephrine auto injector into the outer quadrant of your thigh, and then you have to keep it, you have to hold it for 3 to 10 seconds. Because it is an auto injector, it would inject itself on its own, and that's a lot more efficient and effective way of preventing the emergency cases of anaphylactic shock from causing deaths. So why do you think that creating an emergency action plan is important? Because the emergency action plan outlines exactly what to do in cases of a severe allergic reaction. It includes a list of known allergens that could possibly cause an allergic reaction, signs of a reaction, a step by step treatment instructions plan for the healthcare providers, and emergency contacts. So, the plan should be written in a clear, in a very simple language and shared with everyone in the patient circle, whether they are in the family, whether they belong to the school staff or the school children and workplace staff, etc. And you have to review and update the plan regularly to keep it current and include all the possible allergens that could cause the allergic reaction or anaphylaxis or anaphylactic shock in a patient who is prone towards it. And then, what do you think about the medical alert identification? Why is it important? So, basically, what medical alert identification is, it's a small but a very powerful tool. So, what's it? Whether it could be in the form of a bracelet, or it could be in the form of the necklace, or in the form of a wearable tag, but it provides very critical, very valuable information about the allergies and the health conditions when the patient may not be able to speak due to any emergency condition. So, yes, these medical alert identification tags are very important if someone is prone to allergic reaction, if someone already suffers from the allergic reactions and isn't able to speak due to anaphylactic shock. Yes, it's very, very important. So, first responders should always check for these during the emergency conditions, and these IDs come in many styles, like from discreet to trendy, and they can be customized for both kids and adults. And it's one more step toward the safety and the peace of mind for both the healthcare sector providers and the patient, or anyone who is around the people who might suffer from the allergic reactions. So, yes, very important is to wear some kind of the medical alert identification tag, please. And then, obviously, how can we go without a quiz? So, what is the most important aspect of patient education after the anaphylactic shock or after one episode of the anaphylaxis? So, first of all, a list of all foods to avoid. Yes, we are going to provide the patient with that. When to stop carrying an epinephrine auto-injector? That the answer is never. You should always carry it, even if you think that you have healed from all those allergic reactions, even if you have taken all the immunotherapies or desensitization therapies, even then you have to carry the epinephrine auto-injector for yourself or for someone who might be around you. And then how to avoid the hospital visits? No, if you are suffering from an emergency condition, you should never avoid the hospital visits. Even if you think that you have survived the initial attack, we know that something called delayed attack could occur hours later, and that could be even more severe and more rapid and more critical. So, yes, you should never avoid the hospital visit after the initial anaphylactic shock. And then we have the correct option, which is known as the proper use of an epinephrine auto injector. Yes, we have to educate everyone, including the family, including the staff, including the providers or the caregivers and the patient himself, to auto inject themselves with the epinephrine auto injector. And it's not difficult at all, it's easy, and we have started it. And then what should be included in the emergency action plan for anaphylaxis? So the answer is obviously, which is step-by-step instructions for using epinephrine and when to seek help. In a very clear-cut information, there should be the step should be very clear. You should communicate well, and you should always make sure that patient and everyone surrounding them is sure on what to do in what cases. You can even conduct contingencies for them so they already know, and they have all of this saved up in their reflexes, and they can act reflexively in those critical movements, and they can save lives. And then we have, how should the patient be treated to use an epinephrine auto injectors? So, how would you do that? You would do that with the help of a practice on a trainer device. You will ask the patient to do it again and again until the patient is, very much expert in doing that. Then we have something which is a very common and a very important question, which is how often should a patient check the expiration date of their epinephrine auto-injector? So yes, the patient should keep checking them every 3 to 6 months, because a lot of time it happens that patients are like calm and they're confident that they are carrying the epinephrine auto-injector, but that has actually expired, and when you inject them, the reaction is even more severe because you have now added something to the initial emergency, and that's also an emergency because you have potentially taken an expired medicine and you have injected it into your body, and that might also cause the allergic reaction, that might also lead towards the anaphylactic shock, that may escalate the process of the anaphylactic shock. So yes, keep checking it every 3 to 6 months. And then, what advice should be given to a patient who has had an anaphylactic reaction and is being discharged from the hospital? So, you have to make sure that you tell them in clear cut information that follow up with an allergist, use epinephrine as directed in your plan, and then you have to avoid the triggers for a lifetime. And that's it from this chapter. We will see you in the next chapter very, very soon. Hope you are having a great day.